The use of AI does pose additional risks to businesses. When we talk about algorithm bias and discrimination, those are areas of concern. Algorithms can really perpetuate biases based on the data that they're trained on, and that may lead to unfair and biased results.
Welcome to the Leader's Edge podcast. I'm Sandy Laycox, Editor-in-Chief of Leader's Edge. In this latest edition in our AXA XL podcast series, I talk with Donna Nadeau, Head of Large Commercial for AXA XL. We start with the risk landscape for large businesses, and Donna shares the particulars around what her clients are most concerned about.
What I would say is, in our current environment, our clients are hyper-focused on managing uncertainty, right? They're navigating a rapidly evolving risk landscape characterized by geopolitical instability, climate change, tech disruptions, interest rate uncertainty, and high inflation. And there's probably a couple other variables in there, but it is a very, very dynamic environment. And our goal as their partner is really to help ease and manage some of this uncertainty. And we do that by offering and looking for solutions that are relevant for the current market conditions. We look at new hazards, we look at emerging risks, and our goal is to help those businesses develop strategies to mitigate, or even better, to avoid those risks. I would say our clients are also increasingly focused on resilience and continuity planning. They're looking for partners who understand their specific risks, and that can provide comprehensive support. Finally, we also see our clients looking at their own data to inform their insurance buying and their risk management needs. Large clients, as you know, are very sophisticated around harvesting and using data and analytics in their business as they look to identify vulnerabilities and proactively mitigate potential losses.
We then get into more detailed specifics about certain risk trends that AXA XL is watching closely. These include tariffs and potential supply chain disruptions, climate change risk, and the resulting protection gap.
I have a lot of risks that we are watching, but I'll start with perhaps two of the most topical areas of uncertainty, and those are tariffs and supply chain disruptions. So the bottom line around tariffs is we know that they increase costs, they increase uncertainty, and as a result, there are several associated risks that we're watching. If I take the construction space as an example, we will see costs for subcontractors increase. And if they haven't reflected those increases into their contracts, we may see more subs fail, right, which will impact project delivery schedules. When we think about or talk about supply chain disruption, right, we know that geopolitical tensions and trade policy changes are going to continue to test supply chains, making this really a key risk for lots of industries. And in some instances, it's a double whammy when we put tariffs together with supply chain disruptions. And it's a double whammy in an industry like construction, in my view. In manufacturing, right, sticking with tariffs and supply chain disruption, companies might not be able to get the raw goods that they need on a timely basis. That can result in production delays, in addition to increases in overall production costs. And those things, right, will also impact other industries. For example, when we think about retail, when we think about hospitality, revenues can be expected to drop as products and goods cost more and consumer confidence fails as a result. Another risk we're looking at, we're also watching climate risks, which impacts how organizations think about sustainability and resilience. We know these risks are increasing. Last year was the hottest year on record. We also know that severe convective storms are increasing. And when we look at events like the LA wildfires and last year's hurricanes, they really demonstrate the need to find ways that we can build more resilient structures and prepare our clients for severe weather differently. Another one of the impacts that we see is the protection gap, and the protection gap is increasing, right? This is the gap between economic losses associated with severe events and the value of the losses that actually are insured. And as an insurer, we work closely with our clients on narrowing this gap by helping them understand new risks that they face as a result of climate change.
We also discuss cyber risk trends and emerging AI risk, including algorithm bias, lack of transparency in AI solutions, and regulatory challenges.
Rising frequency and severity of cyber attacks makes cybersecurity a critical concern across all of our industries, right? Organizations are investing heavily in securing their digital assets, and we're working with our clients to identify vulnerabilities in advance of attacks to mitigate losses. For cyber, our clients' needs really go beyond a traditional insurance policy, and risk prevention is a big part of our offering. Of course, right, we do offer coverage to help recover when security fails, but our goal is to prevent that loss from happening in the first place. AI is a newer risk, and while it's related to cyber as respects potential data privacy breaches and cybersecurity vulnerabilities, the use of AI does pose additional risks to businesses. For example, when we talk about algorithm bias and discrimination, those are areas of concern. Algorithms, right, can really perpetuate biases based on the data that they're trained on, and that may lead to unfair and biased results. Also, a lot of AI solutions aren't transparent, right, making it difficult to fully understand the underlying algorithms and interpret resulting conclusions. There are also regulatory challenges, legal challenges associated with the use of AI and compliance with the evolving tech regulations. And finally, just one more. This one's not new, but we continue to closely watch the trends we see in excess casualty and in the auto space. Inflationary pressures, nuclear verdicts continue to drive astronomically high costs.
In response to this complicated risk landscape, Donna discusses how AXA XL is going beyond traditional insurance products to find creative and customized solutions for their clients.
So in the large risk space, collaboration and partnership, they've always been a key part of the relationship that we have with our insureds. When we look at our rapidly evolving risk landscape and we look at new and emerging risks, now, right, more than ever, we need to stay close to our clients. We are, as insurers, increasingly collaborating with our clients, our broker partners, and really industry experts to develop customized solutions and services that go beyond traditional insurance. The time for us to innovate is actually now, and we're responding with innovative solutions. And the relevancy of traditional products still exists, right? But they're being paired with structured or integrated risk products that work, as an example, with an insured's own captives. Our large clients deeply understand the risks that they face, as I mentioned earlier, and they want to manage more of their own risk. So we are working very much on customized solutions for clients. We're also working on solutions that are specific to certain industries. And maybe just a quick example is we created a cyber construction endorsement. Our cyber team collaborated with our construction team. They developed an endorsement for our cyber policy that added specific contractor cyber exposures, such as those related to the use of drones or specialized construction design software. So that was a customized solution. It met a market demand. It's just one of many solutions that we are looking for as our clients' needs get more sophisticated, and we work with them to understand where they need assistance.
Well, that's a fascinating collaboration, and not one you would necessarily intuitively think that contractors would need that cyber coverage. So that's really interesting. And I guess to go a little bit further along those lines, um, you mentioned how internally, two different areas within AXA XL were able to collaborate to create a customized solution. How else is AXA XL positioning itself internally to be able to really better serve clients with these more holistic, multifaceted solutions that they're clearly needing more of?
Sure. So one of the things that we've done is we've developed a client-centric approach. And if I reemphasize my last point, we're very much committed to understanding our clients' unique challenges and delivering those customized solutions to address their needs. If I talk about our organization a little bit, about a year ago, we reorganized into specific client segments, dedicated client segments. So we have the large commercial team, we have a middle market team, we have a programs and a wholesale solutions team, and we have our professional lines team. And we did that, right, to best serve those clients in those segments. We also created a structure with more local authority in Canada and Bermuda. And the reason that we did that was really to better serve our clients in those geographies, having the ability, empowering our underwriters to make decisions in the geographies where they sit means we can accelerate our decision making, we can accelerate our speed to market, and we're better able to respond to local product needs. In the large commercial segment, the one that I lead, we pull together all of our products lines, all of our services that large clients need, allowing us to look holistically at our large commercial clients. A one-size-fits-all approach doesn't work in today's differentiated market, and that was really a big driver of the changes that we made and the move to a true client-centric approach. On the talent side, and I love to talk about talent, we work to attract expertise across the industries that we serve, right? We have experts, we have specialists with deep, deep industry knowledge that allows us to offer insights, solutions that are relevant and effective for our client segments, right? Or the clients that we serve, the industries in which they operate. In the large commercial space, as an example, we have underwriters that have worked in the industries that we're supporting. We have aviation underwriters that are pilots. We have marine underwriters that have served on ships. We have cargo underwriters that have worked in logistics companies. We have construction underwriters that got their start working in construction companies. And we have cyber underwriters with IT backgrounds. So those are just a couple of the ways that we think about how we respond to the unique needs of our clients.
Finally, we discuss AXA XL's longer-term focus as it continues to serve the marketplace.
We're really, really focused on growth right now. We have a region that's comprised of the US, Canada, and Bermuda. And we believe that we have a lot of room to grow in each of those geographies and in the customer segments that I mentioned. I think you did a podcast with Matt Waters, who leads our middle market client segment.
Yes.
He discussed his plans to grow in that space. We welcomed Tim Whistler to the organization, and he's thinking about growth and opportunities in the E&S space and in the programs market. In large commercial, we're well established, we're a mature market, but we do, as you suggest, right, see opportunities to grow both products and services. We are focused on growth on all of our product lines and all of our geographies with really distinct ambitions. I can't go into all of them here, right? But property, if I use property, fall back on property as an example, we've seen strong rates for a number of years. There's a lot of pressure on rates, but the risk hasn't abated, consistent with my earlier comments on climate risk, and we know the protection gap is increasing. And so we believe there's still opportunities to partner with our clients and in non-traditional ways, right? So clients who understand the risk, they may be willing to take more of that risk, as I alluded to, and then how do we partner in what they might consider a riskier layer. So I think that's a big opportunity, not just in property. Service is something else that we are spending some time thinking about. If I think about property, we have a dedicated team of risk engineers. They work directly with our clients. They help think about existing risks. They help think about emerging risks. And it's really with the goal of preventing losses. So it helps customers, right, improve their risk profile. We have a property team that also offers customized insurance solutions. And if we look at our global network, one of the areas that we are focused on as well is looking at the ability to provide coverage in more than 200 countries, right? So that we can serve these large clients where in their local markets with the needs that they might have specific to those markets. Construction is another area that we're focused on. Talked about a lot of uncertainty in the construction space, right? Continued inflation, labor shortages, supply chain disruption, and when we might see some projects being put on hold or scaled back. So since our launch of this business, we've always had a market leading offering. We have a dedicated team, and we want to continue to think holistically about how we serve these markets and how we help them manage through this period of uncertainty. We also are focused. There's a new focus for us, and it's related to construction, is in the energy transition space. We see a ton of opportunities to help energy businesses, traditional oil and gas companies, our existing clients transition to new energy sources, right? And when we think about insurance, we believe insurance has a fundamental role to play in that transition process. It's a critical enabler of that transition. And as an example, when we think about building data centers or battery storage, like they're huge opportunities that we're looking to embrace. And we did, at the start of this year, welcome Catherine Gerber to head our energy transition business in the Americas region. And she is working closely with our existing clients and across the whole of the organization to understand what our clients' needs are in that space. In cyber, we have a full suite of cyber offerings across all of our customer segments, but one new area that we've added is looking at SME business. We've just hired a new person to lead that business, and it's really about how do we support smaller business, obviously. So we have dedicated teams across all of the market segments, and I think it's super important as we think about the unique needs, unique buying preferences, and in those segments. In closing, right, looking at how quickly the risk landscape is changing, whether it's due to tech advancements, reg changes, buying preferences. There's some things that come together, and I think that are really critical for our success. The foundation, right, is talent. People do power our business, and while there are a whole bunch of uncertainties in today's environment, I do think it's a super exciting time to be part of an industry that empowers our clients, empowers businesses by developing those new and innovative solutions to meet their needs, both from a traditional product, from non-traditional products, and as we think about service.
That was Donna Nadeau, head of large commercial for AXA XL. For more in our AXA XL podcast series, visit leadersedge.com.